Welcome to the Los Alamos Podcast. We're going to explore the challenges and opportunities facing local businesses there.
Okay.
We've got community survey results, some feedback directly from local businesses, and some news articles. The Los Alamos Reporter and the Los Alamos Daily Post.
Gotcha.
So our mission is to help you understand the complex issues surrounding local business development in Los Alamos and how the community is thinking about using tools like LEDA.
LEDA.
Yeah, the Local Economic Development Act.
Right.
And MRAs.
Metropolitan redevelopment areas.
Exactly, to try to create a more vibrant and sustainable economic ecosystem.
You know, it's fascinating. Los Alamos is really a community in search of balance.
Okay.
It has this incredible scientific legacy,
Right.
stunning natural beauty, and a strong sense of community.
Yeah.
Yet there's this tension between preserving its unique character and fostering the kind of economic growth that would make it a truly thriving mountain town.
And that tension is obvious in these community survey results we have.
Oh, interesting.
People love Los Alamos, but they're craving more.
Right.
More entertainment options, diverse retail experiences, affordable housing, walkable streets.
So they want that vibrant downtown experience.
Yeah. Exactly. And they're frustrated that it seems just out of reach.
And that frustration is understandable, especially when you consider the recent closure of beloved local businesses.
Right.
Like Encanto Bistro. And these closures highlight a real concern. Is Los Alamos a difficult environment for small businesses to thrive?
It makes you wonder what's holding Los Alamos back. It has the world-renowned national lab, incredible natural surroundings. It seems like it has all the right ingredients. So why are businesses struggling?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's one that the county is trying to address, at least in part, through the proposed East Downtown MRA.
Okay, so for those of us who aren't urban planning experts, can you explain what an MRA is?
Yeah.
And how it's supposed to help?
Sure. An MRA, or Metropolitan Redevelopment Area, is a designated area where the county can use special tools and incentives to encourage development.
Okay.
Think of it like a toolkit for revitalization. The county's stated goals for the East Downtown MRA are pretty straightforward. They want to address vacant properties, boost commercial activity, and improve infrastructure.
All things that, on the surface, seem to align with what the community wants.
Right.
But it sounds like not everyone is convinced that an MRA is the right solution.
Exactly. We see a lot of skepticism in these documents.
Like?
Some people are questioning whether an MRA is even necessary, especially given that the county already has tools like LEDA at its disposal.
Okay, so we're back to LEDA.
Right.
Can you remind us what that is and why some people think it's a better option than an MRA?
Sure. LEDA stands for the Local Economic Development Act. It's a state law that allows local governments to partner with businesses on projects that benefit the community.
Oh.
Essentially, it gives the county the flexibility to offer incentives without running afoul of the state's anti-donation clause, which prohibits governments from giving public funds to private entities without a clear public benefit.
So LEDA seems like a good thing. Why are people suggesting it's being neglected?
Well, there's a really interesting case study here that illustrates some of the challenges with how LEDA is being implemented. The story of the Sala Event Center.
Okay.
They wanted to add some really cool, immersive experience attractions.
Oh, wow.
Which seems like it would align perfectly with the county's goals of boosting tourism and economic activity.
Right.
They applied for assistance through LEDA.
Yeah.
But then got bogged down in a bureaucratic nightmare.
Almost a year of hurdles and changing requirements from what I read.
Yeah.
It sounds incredibly frustrating.
It was. The owner of Sala even describes facing restrictive bureaucracy and feeling like the goalposts kept shifting.
Wow.
They eventually just gave up and withdrew their application.
That raises a big question for me. If the county can't even figure out how to support a project like that, which seems like a slam dunk in terms of community benefit, what hope is there for other local businesses trying to navigate the system? It almost makes you wonder if creating a whole new system with the MRA is just going to add another layer of complexity to an already convoluted process.
That's a concern that a lot of people in Los Alamos are voicing.
Yeah.
And it ties directly into another big issue that's been brewing: transparency or the lack thereof.
From what I've read, the community feels like they've been left in the dark throughout this whole MRA process.
Yes, and we've seen specific examples of that in these documents. For instance, nobody in the community knew about the Columbus Capitol proposal until someone filed a public records request.
Oh, wow.
And that petition, asking for broader community involvement on the MRA board,
Yeah.
completely ignored. There's also a lot of frustration about the lack of clarity around the MRA plan itself. People are being asked to comment on a draft that hasn't even been released yet.
It's like they're saying, give us your feedback, but we're going to do what we want anyway.
That's the perception, and it's contributing to a real sense of distrust between the community and the Calsta County.
So we have a community that desperately wants a thriving downtown.
Right.
A county proposing a potentially powerful but controversial solution. A possibly neglected tool already in the toolbox. And a whole lot of community skepticism. Where do we go from here?
That's what we'll explore in the next part of our deep dive. We'll look at some alternative perspectives and consider what a more collaborative approach might look like. Because ultimately, the future of Los Alamos depends on finding a path forward that works for everyone.
Right.
It's striking, the contrast and perspectives we're seeing.
Yeah.
While some are questioning the need for an MRA,
Right.
others are pointing to LEDA.
Okay.
Saying, look, the county already has this powerful tool, and they're not even using it effectively.
It's hard to ignore that point when you consider the Sala Event Center story. They were trying to do exactly what the county says it wants, bring in more tourism, create jobs, generate economic activity, but they got stuck in a bureaucratic maze.
Yeah.
It feels like a real missed opportunity, not just for Sila, but for the whole community.
And it raises a bigger question about the county's capacity to effectively manage economic development.
Right.
If a project that clearly aligns with their stated goals encounters so much resistance, what message does that send to other potential developers?
Reading through these articles, it definitely seems like there's a disconnect between the county's aspirations and its ability to execute.
Yeah.
And that's where this perspective from the Los Alamos Commerce and Development Corporation, the LACDC, comes in.
Okay.
They're basically calling out the county, saying they need to present a united front to developers. The LACDC suggests the county package together various incentives, make it crystal clear to developers that Los Alamos is open for business. They even advocate for using LED alongside the MRA to create a more attractive package deal. It's a pragmatic approach. Streamline the process, reduce the bureaucracy, and send a strong signal that Los Alamos is ready to partner with businesses that can help achieve the community's vision.
The LACDC is saying, like, stop sending mixed messages.
Right.
Get organized and make it easier for businesses to invest in Los Alamos. They recognize the need for a more proactive and strategic approach to economic development.
Absolutely. And they're also highlighting a crucial point, the need for collaboration.
Yeah.
Right now, it seems like the county, the business community, and residents are operating in silos. There's a lack of trust, a lack of shared understanding, and a lack of a coordinated strategy.
And that lack of alignment is hurting everyone.
Right.
Businesses are struggling to survive. Residents are frustrated by the lack of progress, and Los Alamos is missing out on opportunities to become a truly vibrant and thriving destination.
Let's not forget about tourism.
Oh, right.
A healthy local business scene is essential for attracting visitors.
Right.
People want to experience a place with unique character, not just a collection of chain stores and empty storefronts. A thriving downtown full of locally owned shops, restaurants, and cultural attractions is a magnet for tourists seeking an authentic experience.
You're so right. If Los Alamos had that kind of bustling downtown, it would not only benefit the residents, but also draw in tourists.
Right.
Generating revenue, creating jobs, and boosting the local economy.
Exactly. It's that positive feedback loop that we need to tap into.
Yeah.
But none of that can happen if the Countless County doesn't create an environment where businesses can actually thrive. And that means addressing some of the underlying challenges that are making it difficult for businesses to succeed in Los Alamos.
Right.
Like what, for instance? What are some of those key challenges that need to be addressed?
Well, one of the biggest issues is the lack of affordable housing.
Okay.
This is a problem in many communities, but it's particularly acute in Los Alamos.
Right.
If workers can't afford to live here, they're not going to work here. And that makes it incredibly difficult for businesses to find and retain employees, especially in the service industry, which is often the backbone of a local economy.
I can see how that would be a major obstacle. It's not just about attracting new residents. It's also about retaining the people who already live here.
Right.
If young people, for example, can't see a future for themselves in Los Alamos, they're going to leave taking their skills and talents with them.
Precisely. And that leads to a sort of brain drain, not just in terms of scientists and engineers, but across all sectors of the community. It's a loss of vitality, a loss of creativity, and the loss of the very energy that's needed to build a thriving future.
So it seems like affordable housing is a key piece of the puzzle.
Yeah,
But what about other challenges? What about that bureaucratic inertia we saw with the Sala Event Center? Is that something that can be addressed?
that's a crucial question. And it speaks to the need for systemic change. Streamlining permitting processes, improving communication between county departments, and fostering a culture of collaboration and responsiveness within the county government are all essential steps towards creating a more business-friendly environment.
It sounds like there's a lot of work to be done, both in terms of addressing immediate challenges like affordable housing,
Yeah.
and also in terms of making deeper systemic changes to how the county operates.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And the longer these issues go unaddressed, the harder it's going to be to turn things around. We're not just talking about a few businesses closing.
Right.
We're talking about the potential for Los Alamos to become a hollowed-out shell of its former self.
A bedroom community for LA&L employees, essentially.
Exactly, and that would be a tragedy.
Yeah.
Not just for the residents of Los Alamos, but for anyone who values the unique history, culture, and scientific legacy of this remarkable place.
So where does that leave us? We've uncovered a lot of complex issues. But is there a glimmer of hope? What does this all mean for the future of Los Alamos?
Well, I think it's important to remember that Los Alamos is at a crossroads.
Okay.
It's facing serious challenges,
Yeah.
but it also has tremendous potential.
Right.
The question is, will the county seize the opportunity to create a brighter future? Will they acknowledge the community's concerns and work collaboratively to find solutions? Or will they continue down a path that risks jeopardizing the very essence of what makes Los Alamos special?
We've explored the challenges and the potential solutions facing Los Alamos, but now I want to turn it back to you, the listener. Why should you care about what's happening in this little mountain town?
What I find fascinating is that Los Alamos is kind of a microcosm of what's happening in communities all across America.
Okay.
It reflects this nationwide struggle to balance economic growth with, preserving the heart and soul of a place.
Yeah.
We see this tension between embracing progress and holding on to what makes a town unique playing out, everywhere,
Right.
from small rural communities to bustling urban centers.
It seems like finding that balance is the key. In Los Alamos, we've seen how neglecting the needs of local businesses can create this ripple effect throughout the community. It's not just about empty storefronts. It's about a loss of jobs, a shrinking tax base, and a decline in the overall quality of life.
Think about it this way. If those businesses that closed had been able to thrive,
Yeah.
they would have created jobs, contributed to the local tax base, and made Los Alamos a more vibrant and attractive place to live and visit. It's a domino effect.
Right.
One closure can lead to another.
Right.
And pretty soon you have a downtown that's struggling to survive.
And then you have folks saying, we need drastic measures, we need an MRA. But as we've seen, the MRA itself has become a source of contention.
Right.
It's perceived as a top-down solution imposed by the county without truly listening to the concerns and aspirations of the people who live and work in Los Alamos.
This is why the issue of transparency keeps coming up.
Yeah.
If the community doesn't feel like they're being heard, if they don't trust the process, they're going to resist any proposed solution, no matter how well-intentioned it might be.
The LACDC's call for collaborative action seems particularly relevant here.
Absolutely.
They're advocating for a more inclusive and transparent approach, where the Melicaden, the business community, and the residents work together to find solutions that benefit everyone.
It's about moving beyond the blame game and recognizing that everyone has a stake in the future of Los Alamos. The county needs to be more responsive to the needs of the business community, businesses need to be more engaged in community affairs, and residents need to actively participate in shaping the future of their town.
And that requires honesty. Yes, Los Alamos has a lot going for it. A rich history, stunning natural beauty, a world-class scientific institution.
Right.
But it also has some deeply ingrained issues that need to be addressed. We've talked about the bureaucratic inertia, the lack of affordable housing, the challenges facing local businesses. These are not easy problems to solve, but ignoring them will only make things worse.
What I find hopeful is that Los Alamos isn't alone in facing these challenges.
True.
Communities all across the country are grappling with similar issues.
Yeah.
And that means there are lessons to be learned, best practices to be shared, and innovative solutions to be explored.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with a final provocative thought. What can you do to support local businesses in your own town? What steps can you take to advocate for policies that create a more vibrant and sustainable community? Because the future of our towns and cities depends on engaged citizens like you.
People who are willing to ask tough questions,
Right.
demand transparency,
Yeah.
and work together to create solutions. The challenges facing Los Alamos are a reminder that the health of our communities depends on all of us working together to create a future where everyone can thrive.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the heart of Los Alamos. We hope you've learned something new and that you're feeling inspired to make a difference in your own community. Until next time, keep diving deep.